if Luigi Mangione is involved in the UnitedHealthCare situation and may have figured out how he did it and how he plans to get away with it. And no, revealing my theory isn't going to ruin his plan. So I just watched the ABC special 2020 about Manhunt, Luigi Mangione, and the UnitedHealthCare CEO. And something they said in that special just completely tied everything together in a way that I'd never even imagined. Most of you have speculated that the person we see on the early photos of the shooter that revealed his face by lowering his mask is not the same person as Luigi Mangione. So let me posit to you the idea of the Luigi shuffle and how it works. The man we see on the Starbucks cameras is suspect number 1. Suspect number 2 is waiting in Central Park. That may be Luigi Mangione, we don't know. Suspect number 1 carries out the atrocity that morning and then slips away quietly, grabs an e-bike and heads into Central Park. Now here's where the real kicker comes in. ABC admitted that there is one major blind spot in all of New York City, which is full of cameras everywhere. But where they don't have a lot of cameras is Central Park. It is like a big giant blind spot, and surprisingly few cameras are there. And authorities lost sight of the suspect for quite some time, according to ABC. Sometime later, they see an individual matching the same description as a suspect leaving Central Park on an e-bike wearing the same kind of jacket and backpack. Now, I would maintain that this is suspect number 2. Suspect number 1 is still inside Central Park. Suspect number 2 then gets picked up on cameras, slips away for just a moment off camera, ditches the bike and the backpack, and then reappears on camera getting into a taxi cab. And by now, what is one of the most famous of Luigi Mangione supposedly looking directly at the camera, we see he's practically leaning forward in between the partition of a taxi, looking directly at the security camera that is put inside all taxis to protect the safety of the drivers. Even on the ABC special, they referred to this as some brazen activity by the suspect, who apparently had no desire to even attempt to hide his identity. It's almost as if the suspect wanted to be seen at that moment on a really good photo. Then suspect number 2 just quietly waits for the authorities to track him down and find him and make an arrest. Meanwhile, suspect number 1 is long gone. He's not only left the city, he's probably left the entire country. So what then happens to suspect number 2, if that is Luigi? So they try him for murder, and if he's got an airtight alibi, that might explain why he's grinning like the cat that ate the canary. The government fails to make the connection that he's the perpetrator of the event since he's got an airtight alibi. And then even if they do retry him for accomplice, they have to be able to have suspect number 1. Otherwise, any good attorney is going to be like, what suspect number 1? Until you have suspect number 1, you're theorizing my man conspired with a mystery man. He's gone. He is out of the country. You can't find this guy. That's the theory, at least. So if they can't pin murder on suspect number 2, Luigi, and they can't pin accomplice on him because they can't find suspect number 1, then the plan would be nearly perfect. But of course, that's just a theory.